You couldn't make this shit up. So the government minister for homelessness has just resigned because, what's her name, Rashanara Ali, because she issued a Section 21 while she still can, and her government are bringing in the legislation, the Renters' Rights Bill, to remove the Section 21. So what did she do? She told the tenant that she served a Section 21. So reminder, Section 21, no fault eviction, you can just serve notice. 2 months later the tenant has to leave, and if they don't, the court has to grant possession if they don't leave after 2 months, and that's what the government wants to remove, right? So you've only got a Section 8, which if the tenant doesn't leave after a Section 8, then the court decides whether to remove the tenant, right? So she decided she didn't want to wait until she wasn't able to use the Section 21, and she served notice on the tenant, and she told the tenant that she was going to sell the property. Now, funny old thing, she didn't sell the property, she then re-let it out to new tenants, right? Charging more rent. Now, here's the thing with a Section 21. Sometimes you just want to get rid of the existing tenant and you don't want to accuse them of anything, okay? And you just use the Section 21 because there's no rent arrears or anything like that, but you want to just remove that tenant and rent it out again. So she, stupidly, let's face it, said to the tenant, oh, I'm selling the property. So then the tenant kept an eye on it. And then when it became available for rent again, so she obviously didn't sell it for more rent, went to the press, right? So then a bit of pressure on this minister because she's basically done what she is going to prevent landlords from doing with the Renters' Rights Bill, and therefore she has resigned to not cause a distraction to the government. Not because she's basically a hypocrite and dishonest, right? Normal political speak. Now then, so that's basically where we're at. Okay, she is a landlord, and she doesn't believe in this Renters' Rights Bill, and she is the minister, or was the minister, for this Renters' Rights Bill, or at least a government minister for homeless, right? So obviously connected. Now, one thing I thought I should tell you, okay, because this happened to me recently. Now, by the way, what do you think about that? You know, do you think it's utter shambles or not? Right? Some of you will know that who followed a recent post of mine, and I served notice, a Section 21, on a tenant who's been a tenant of mine for about 10 years, because very soon, literally watch this space, the Renters' Rights Bill will be in and you'll no longer be able to use a Section 21. So I served a notice on this tenant. I didn't tell him I was going to sell it or any nonsense like that. I just told him that I no longer want to be a landlord, right? Which is true, because guess what? I'm not going to re-let it out to a tenant. I'm going to use it as a short-term rental. It's going to get listed on Airbnb, where I will still have control over my property. I mean, shoot me dead. That's what I want. Control over my property, not somebody else having control over the thing that's I've worked very hard over the years to put in place to create some recurring income. This Renters' Rights Bill gives that control to tenants and to courts over your hard-won asset. Okay, so fuck that for Game of Soldiers, I'm out. So, what happened? The tenant has spoken to the council, maybe someone from the homeless department. He's also gone to letting agents, and I've been given references to letting agents, right? But he also, probably hedging his bets, has gone to the council and said that he's been served a Section 21. And what do the council do? Are they going to look after the tenant and the landlord equally, or are they just going to come in to bat and completely screw over the landlord? What do you think? So she's a bit like a smiling assassin, this woman. She says, oh, nothing to worry about, but I'm just checking that, you've got the tenant deposit protected, and that you gave the tenant the prescribed information on where their deposit was protected. I'm just double checking, that you've got an electrical installation condition report, and a gas safety certificate, and hopefully you've got an EPC. Right, here's the thing, guys. You've got to have these things in place, otherwise you're going to end up falling foul of the courts, because the section 21, I'll rattle them off again. The court will have to grant possession unless you don't have a gas safety certificate, an electrical installation condition report, an EPC, right? And also if you're protecting the deposit of the tenant and you've told them how their deposit is being protected. So either it's with a tenant deposit scheme or it's insured. Okay, so really, really important that you make sure you've got your ducks in a row and your house in order before serving notice. You should have those things in place anyway, especially the electrical condition report and the gas safe, because let's face it, that's keeping you and your tenants safe, right? And in service accommodation we do it too, because it keeps us and our guests safe. So that was something that they tried to literally see whether or not they would be able to catch me out on that, and I said no, I'm more than happy to share all of that with you. Just let me know what email address and I'll ping it across. And she went, okay, right, fine. So just word of warning, guys, make sure you know what you're doing as a landlord, okay, with regards to that stuff. But that's the point. I'm still able to use the section 21 and I'm able to do it legally, and very soon I will not. I will still have some tenants when I've still got HMOs, I've still got buy-to-lets. Those are properties that I'm just going to have to suck it up. They won't work as serviced accommodation, and I don't want to just sell them all at once. Okay, so I'm just going to suck it up. But the ones that will work as serviced accommodation, buy-to-lets, HMOs, I'm turning them into SA, serviced accommodation, right, when tenants move out. And whilst I've still got the chance, I'm issuing the section 21, but if you do, make sure you've got those things in place. So hopefully that was useful. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow me, the Property Soldier, depending on which platform you're on, because guess what, team? Your future prosperity needs you. Thank you.